This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's keep it moving here. We've got an interesting question about Jerry Lawler. Robert wants to know, everyone has their top list of wrestlers that never won the world title in the NWA or WCW or WWE. The name I don't hear very often is Jerry Lawler. You think with how over Jerry was in the Memphis territory, he would have made a great NWA champion?
You would probably have to ask Jerry the most defining part of that being the world champion. If he would have been willing to be in a different city, state, country, 350 days a year round. Because, the world champion back in the day, the true world champion, when it was territories and traveling, he was literally all over the world. And I would think some of the guys that were qualified, like a Jerry Lawler, and was, pretty well politically plugged in. Jerry Jarrett was part of that NWA clique of promoters, I would think. And certainly his performance warranted him being the world champion. His business sense warranted it, but I'm not sure that the guys that were smart enough to know, hey, this guy's going to be here today. He's going to be out on the West Coast tomorrow. He may go to the Caribbean the next day and be back somewhere in Europe the day after that. I mean, the schedule was just unbelievable. Fly over to Japan for a couple of days, come right back, sometimes one shot, fly all the way round trip to Japan, try that one on sometime. I think Jerry would have qualified through his work and all of his assets to be the world champion. I just don't know how many guys, could handle that schedule. And you got to remember, some nights and a lot of nights you would get to the town 60 minutes. That was your future. Go wrestle 60 minutes and make their top star better than he was before you got here. When you leave town, he's better off than he was before you got here. Pretty tall challenge, and not a lot of people could have pulled that off.
Right. Michael Eldridge wants to know, what did you think of the WCW NWA split that happened in the early 90s? As a reminder, this was even a legal matter there for a while. I guess you guys sort of picked up where the NWA left off. Once Jim Crockett Promotions was done and Ted Turner bought it, we continued with the NWA World Championship. And then slowly but surely, I guess that board of directors, even though it was not nearly what it once was, made a big issue out of that and didn't want certain things to happen. So you guys decided to change the name of the big gold belt to the International Heavyweight Championship, and you introduced a new WCW world title, and the big gold belt was still there, but it didn't quite carry the same meaning maybe it once did. And you had a new belt made. It was a little confusing for wrestling fans at the time. What did you think about this?
Well, probably more confusing for them than it was for me, because I was a WCW employee. I was, that was my new home, and I figured in my ridiculous thought process, I was going to be there forever. So all that stuff, all those legal wranglings was kind of, out of my sight, and it was out of my thought process. It was just one of those things that your here's going on. It didn't change the roster of guys I was working with or who my new employer was. I was kind of over there, and this stuff was all happening kind of, it was just off my radar.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.